You're live. Hello, everyone. Oh, for some reason, I hear myself through your speakers.
Really?
Yeah, when I said hello, that was weird. Well, hello, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day, Josh.
Yeah, I'm not wearing green. Oops, wait.
Oh, you have no, I saw you have a green bracelet on.
I got green on my car candy hat.
Yeah, you have a green bracelet on, right? I thought it, yep, look at you. I went and changed my sweatshirt. It was funny because I was wearing my other favorite green sweatshirt, and then I realized that I wore that last week. So I was like, oh no, I got to get a different green sweatshirt. So I went and changed. But so let's see, we've got an action-packed episode. My printers behind me are freaking out, so I hope you guys can't hear them. But so man, we've been busy the last couple weeks. I know that's kind of been the trend of 2026, but definitely the spring has sprung, and I know Josh is going to disagree with me when I say it's springtime, but spring tried to spring, and winter tried to winter for you.
Yep.
Yeah. So we've had, just to recap real quick what's gone on in the last 2 weeks, we've had a couple trips take place, a couple events. The biggest one, obviously, was 2 weeks ago today. We actually talked about the rest of our team, Megan, Ashley, and Mike, were on their way to Hawaii to go see our friends at IREP, and had, I think it was a 3-day event there, and that went fantastic. They had a ton of people show up and just lots of participation. And, I think they tried to not rub it in too much to us when they got back, but it sounds like they had a great time. And then Mike jetted straight to Mesa, Phoenix, Arizona, had a couple-day event there. And then you drove to Boise for an event. And the event went well, but the drive didn't.
The drive, not so much. As much as I love coming to Boise, I will never drive there again.
And you drove here a couple summers ago, right? But it was uneventful that time?
Yeah. Summertime tends to be a little more uneventful drive, but I figured it was March. I was pretty safe. It's March.
Yeah. So not feeling driving through Wyoming ever again?
No, I was not safe.
Oh my gosh. That's so crazy. I felt so bad. So you got stuck in 2 shutdowns of interstates.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely crazy.
See, I think I sat for about 12 to 14 hours, something like that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the first time.
In Wyoming.
Yeah, the first time. Oh my goodness.
And I got close to home, and we had a blizzard here, so I got stuck on another shutdown.
That is awful. That is awful. I'm sorry. But you made it home. You got some rest. We're ready to roll out the next 2 weeks. So good times. So we've got lots of hellos. I'm just going to post these up as we keep talking. So that is what has happened. We'll talk more about what's coming up a little bit later. But one thing that we wanted to add to the podcast for everyone, just to kind of kick off the conversation, is having kind of a product theme of the week, right? So because it is St. Patrick's Day, what product did we choose to focus on today?
We chose Hydro X, our waterless wash.
Yes. And I brought it with me here. So Hydro X. This is a product that I will admit I wasn't really sure what to expect, and I was pleasantly surprised, as were you, right?
Yep, absolutely. I was never really a big fan of waterless washes before. I just never had a need for them, but I do now.
Yeah. So I've always been a waterless wash fan, mainly for the purpose that because I do so much rinseless wash, and I know that I could mix up rinseless wash to use for this, but I like it for door jams. I think probably what started this, and this is a good tip for all the parents out there, what started my love of waterless wash was I could put the bottle in my kids' hands while I was working, and they could spray anything and not hurt anything, but it was kind of going to clean it. So my love of waterless wash actually started when my kids were very small. I put them on door jams, and it is fantastic on door jams. You don't always need to take a pressure washer or a degreaser to a door jam. And so it's just a really nice, it encapsulates the dirt, it helps you remove it, and all of the good stuff. And sometimes I'll use it on roofs. This is one that I keep in my car a lot, so that if like bird droppings, bug guts, it's something that's super safe to get all that stuff off. But primarily for me, it is the door jams. It's awesome on door jams. But when I started kind of digging into the car candy lineup. This was one where I was like, a waterless wash is a waterless wash is a waterless wash, right? Well, then I realized after reading the label that it actually has SiO2 infused into it, which was always like a dream of mine, was to have a product like that. I love the idea of that because of how I use it. I wanted it to leave behind a little bit of protection. So I've been using it for that, and I've been super, super happy with it. It works fantastic, and I love that it leaves it just a little bit slick. So then I know, because we know me as like the diva detailer, I like to make things simpler for myself the next time, right? So because I know that my customers' cars are going to come back and my own, I like the SIF2 being there so that next time when I come back, it's even easier to clean.
Yeah, yep. And it leaves behind a good gloss too. It really does.
Yeah, it really does. And I've noticed that. Like, I feel like the door jambs are just kicked up a notch, right? And the thing that's kind of cool is now that I've used it on, multiple cars multiple times in the door jambs, it's almost like it remembers itself, and so literally like it is easier to clean following that first application. So I've been super excited about it. It's definitely one when people say, what are like the top 5 products that I should try from Car Candy? I definitely mention Hydrex. Super love it. So we are going to, so feel free, write in the comments, questions, if you have any questions, because we are actually going to dive in today into the difference between waterless wash and rinseless wash. So I want to hear from everybody else. What are some of your favorite uses for waterless wash? And why would we choose that over our rinseless wash being diluted in a bottle, which works just fine, but I love it. And you used it in San Diego for the first time to wipe down a wrapped vehicle, which I thought this was so great for that, right? Because a lot of wrapped vehicles don't really need to be fully washed if they've just been like on a small, they're so easy to wipe off, but rather than dusting it, you used the Hydrex to make sure that it did it safely, but it looked fantastic. Like it
did a pretty good job of, getting some bugs and stuff off too. Granted, they weren't on there for a long time. It still did a really good job of cleaning the vehicle.
Yeah. Yep. Super, super good. So I love that. So apparently there was an echo before. Oh, I think it was probably when I said there was an echo at the beginning, and Alex Stewart saying it's gone. All right. So lots of good afternoons. Hello. We've got Joey with us today. Dewar. We have Chris Bence. Love it. Look at all these guys here.
Yeah. Got a good crowd.
Yeah. Chad. Kelly. Yep, Kelly was with us here in Boise this weekend. And if any of you guys saw the hilarious video that I posted yesterday of making Josh dance for the camera, once again, Kelly was our great camera lady, which was so great.
It's always a great time when we get to spend time with Kelly.
Yes, I love this comment. Bob Cox, hello from beautiful Iowa. I heard Iowa wasn't maybe so beautiful for Josh yesterday.
I was it's a little bipolar because it's like cold today. It was like 5 degrees this morning. And Saturday, it's supposed to be 80 degrees Saturday.
Oh my gosh. That's how it is here. So, we froze last weekend. Even though it said it was 60, we were freezing, right? We were freezing. And then like today, it's supposed to be like 77. And I think tomorrow it's 80. And it's like, where did that come from? Like, that's so weird. So weird. I think I missed this. I like that, Joey. I must have missed what he likes. And then we have Mike Rines in the house. Welcome, Mike. Good to see you. Is Mike, I feel like I have this on my list to talk about, but Mike, confirm for me. I feel like you were heading to Texas this week.
I think that's mid-April, I think.
Is it? Oh, for some reason I thought he was going to Texas this week, but anyway, Mike, where are you going this week? That's like my favorite thing. It's kind of become, like that. Where's Carmen Sandiego? I always feel like, where's Mike Rines? He's been on a plane and on the road a lot lately. And Bucky coming in 11 days until I get to see Sydney. I can't wait. I cannot wait either. So many of my industry friends will descend on Boise in 11 days for TRCMA, and I am so excited about that. I must have missed some comments. Let me see if I can see what they're talking about here. I only have hellos and then, oh wait. Because Mike says it creates a film build. Is he talking about Hydro X?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's building the SiO2 on top of each other, which is great. Okay, so Ricardo Lopez. Hi, Ricardo. Oh my
What's
God,
up,
so
Ricardo?
long. It's great to see you again. So great to see you too. Thanks for joining us. Best regards to both of us. I love Ricardo. I feel like I go so long between getting to see him, and then it's
I
always
know.
like, no time has passed. It's so great.
Oh, it's been a long time.
Yeah, Gary Reith, afternoon family. Roger Sandoval. Hi
Roger.
from Wyoming. Oh, Roger.
I was stuck in Wyoming for 14 hours. You should have came and got me.
Yeah, so Roger, I saw on Facebook, he was kind of stuck on the road too, and had some video of like the trucks and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. I remember seeing videos and pictures, and it looked crazy. But you drove through it. We won't talk about that, but you drove through it when you weren't supposed to. That was pretty great. But at least you got here, so that was great. All right, Joey Belinsky says, I like using waterless as a drying aid for a little something at the end. Yeah, totally. Yeah. I've done that too. I think probably with this, I maybe would dilute it a little bit to do that. But yeah, I can totally see where it would make a great drying aid, It's especially great on I think I could see using it on roofs and things like flat surfaces that you need like a little bit extra. But yeah, I love that. I just don't end up having to use drying aids too much because we all know I'm really not a fan of doing the pressure washer and foam wash. I mean, I do them, but that's not typically what I do in my business. So I don't end up with needing drying aids too much, but that is awesome. Bucky, Alex Stewart, that Josh reel was amazing. It was pretty good. And I have to give Josh a shout out because literally anything I ask him to do, he does it. And he's such a trooper. And it's funny because sometimes I have to say act annoyed with me. And I love that you're really not. And I have to go, you have to act annoyed. And so I love that. That was so fun. I love doing stuff like that. But that one, it turned out really, really good. Yeah, it turned out really good. I think the first clip when we did it, you have to film it a couple times. But the first clip, we were kind of I don't know. But then by the second clip and then the third clip, it was yes, this is it. It's great. Perfect. One shot. It was amazing. Oh, Joey Belinsky, 86 and not a cloud in the sky today. Not a care in the world.
Don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. All I know is Josh is buying plane tickets from now on.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right, Bradley Bradshaw, thanks for joining us. Afternoon, homies. Afternoon. Bradley, have you had a chance to try any car candy products yet? I feel like we talked about it. All right, Mike Rhines, it is mid-April. There we go. Nowhere this week or next. Well, enjoy your staying home for a little bit. I felt so bad when you went straight from Hawaii to Mesa. I can't even imagine that. Can't even imagine that. Yes, in mid-April, you're coming to the sunny state. Yes, for sure. Back to Florida for a fun little tour. All right, Sarah Riles. Illinois is also... Am I saying that wrong? It's not Illinois. It's Illinois, right? Illinois. It's like when people call Idaho, Iowa. Illinois is also bipolar. We had a nice tornado last week and then a whiteout yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah. That's too crazy. Yeah. The spring is just, it's just crazy. You never know what to expect in March, I feel like. Josh coming in from Nixa, Missouri.
Hello, Josh.
How's the weather in Missouri?
I bet it's not too bad. They're
not too bad.
Southern. So Nixa is where my detail supply is.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. All right. And then Bob Cox back with, are you making Josh a wand behind you? You know what? I intended on I had the wand picked out. I had the intention of having it done when he was here, but I got obsessed with this other project of making polisher holders and my printer. Really cool. Yeah, they are really, really cool. They turned out super awesome. And so I got obsessed with that. So no wands were made, but I'm going to get one made and I'm going to get it to him ASAP. I promise. But I have one picked out and it is not a princess wand. It's a different kind of wand. So don't worry, Bob. I'm on it. All right. Mike Rhines, Florida is after Texas. Yes, you're going to have a fun April. Hopefully the weather is And my detail supply again from Nixa, Missouri. Hey, guys. Hey, Clint. Thanks for joining us.
They got some really good social media going on down there.
Yeah, they do. He's really having a good time with the products and Cam, and so creative, so creative. Roger Sandoval. Dude, I would have been there. Yeah, well, I would say, Roger, next time he'll call you, but it sounds like there's not going to be
I don't know if you could have got to me.
Sounds like there won't be a next time. Yeah. And yeah, he was on the forbidden, so you may not have been able to reach him. Jeff, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Good to see you. Ricardo back with one product that I've been using for about a year or so is Eliminator, and it's a little complicated to spray. Do you guys recommend to apply this product with an applicator or by hand?
I always spray it. It's a little on the thicker side, but it clings to the paint really well.
Yeah. Do you think that could be diluted or no? I mean, I would definitely think you want to spray it. I wouldn't want to apply that in an applicator.
Yeah, I don't know that you'd want to dilute it unless you're using like distilled water, just because of the iron remover in it. I mean, it would.
Yeah.
You get the wrong kind of water, it's going to turn purple.
Ricardo, have you tried putting it like in an IK multi or anything? I wonder if that would help. Having it in an atomized pressurized sprayer, maybe. I have not heard that though.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue with it.
All right, Jeff Kautz. I'm still laughing from those videos. That one, it was pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, Mike Ryan's saying it is dilutable if you choose 3-to-1 or 1-to-1 with less color change. So I think he's saying you just may not get as much of the color change. But if you find that it's a little too heavy, try diluting it a little bit. Yeah. I would recommend diluting it with either DI water or distilled water, though.
Yeah, don't use tap water.
Yeah, don't use tap water because it'll start changing color because there's probably rust in the water. Look who showed up, Alex Dublin.
What's up, Alex?
I think he has no mercy on us. Yeah, y'all can come up and visit me. It'll be minus 35. Is that even survivable?
I think I'll pass on that.
No way. No way. All right, Bucky, Alex Dewar. What is that? Isla noise would be Josh's rapper name.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
I think it was Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. Oh, I get it. Illinois would be Josh's rapper name. Illinois. That's so funny. Too funny. All right. Jeff Kautz says, hey, guys, tell me about the product that takes cement off car paint. Have you gotten to play with that yet?
I have, and it's pretty good stuff. Cool. It's our Hydro X, which is our professional power washing line. It's called the concrete remover.
Yeah.
Works pretty good. You put it on there, it softens it up and spray it away.
Cool. I am excited to try this product. I haven't had the need for it yet, but in Idaho, that is the one good thing about this state is they very much keep our streets up. Our streets are all very, very good. But that also comes with lots of tar, concrete all over cars. So I'm excited to try it out. Since it's been winter, I haven't had any in here yet, but I've got it ready to go. Can't wait to test it out. But the one thing I think is great is that over the last couple of years, I personally have just gotten lots of questions, DM to me, like, how do I get concrete off paint? And the only one that I really knew of previously was Dr. Beasley's, which is a great product, but it's maybe a little bit spendy, especially if you live in an area that you need a lot of it. So I love that it comes in gallons and it's, ready to go. And I'm excited to dive into that whole line, but yeah, super excited about that. All right, Hydra Detailing. Which 3 products would you suggest in the winter and then in the hot summer? Great question.
Yeah, well, in the wintertime, you're at least going to want some kind of carpet cleaner, especially if you're in a snowy atmosphere, so you can get the salt out. I'd say like a high pH soap in the wintertime to get all this brine and stuff off the car. And then, a good sealant to make it easier to get the stuff off next time.
Yeah. I would definitely say for winter, Destroyer, right? Because that rips through all the grime from, road salt to just muddy rain. We had muddy rain this week. So Destroyer definitely. probably something like, I like to treat up here. We use a salt brine on the roads. So I like to do an undercarriage rinse. So I'm going to grab something like hot tamale to I think that's the most harsh thing on cars is salt on the roads. And so that's kind of what I would focus on in the winter. And then like Josh said, it's some type of sealant, whether it's ceramic shield or, the graphene carbon coat, something that I'm going to put on nearly after every wash just to make sure that everything is sealed up. And I will say, even though most of the cars I work on and my personal cars are still ceramic coated, but I don't want to spend all the effort unclogging the coating, that I still run, either ceramic shield or graphene carbon coat just to keep the coating sealed up, right? So still totally good on that. Hot summer, I'm going to go with bug remover.
Yeah.
Probably a rinseless wash if you don't want to be out in the sun and you need to wash your car, which we're going to talk about that. We have one coming. And then I'm going to go with, again, probably either I'm kind of torn on the dressing or another ceramic spray just to keep everything kind of UV protected.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you on that one. I mean, definitely a bug remover. Maybe a tire dressing that way you can have your tires nice and shiny or nice and clean looking for the summertime.
Yeah, for sure. Because in the winter, they never stay clean very long. All right, Frank Opie says, I'm sorry, guys, if I'm saying your names wrong. Where can I find car candy products in Pittsburgh? I don't have it all off the top of my head, but do you want to look that up and I'll come back to you?
Yeah, let me look that up. I will get back to you on that.
Cool. Okay, we're looking up the Pittsburgh, Frank. We'll be back. Okay, so Hydro Detailing, are you coming to TRCMA? So Car Candy will not be at TRCMA this year. Obviously, I will be there, but Car Candy will not, so no. But we do have big news right after that, so that's going to be quite the exciting week. Okay, so Dylan says, over here in Illinois, it's 28 degrees currently, and I'm ready for steady spring weather. Yeah. I don't know that I could be doing still the 20s. I would probably cry. I wanted to cry at being cold and 60. I don't know what was going on here in Boise last weekend, but it was a very cold 60. All right, Hydra, question. Any new version of this year's latest new products? Any new version or this year's latest new products? So I think what you're asking is, do we have any new products or new versions? So I think that the simplest answer on this is yes, we do have a new line coming in about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Or the Sweet Elite. So the line is not a secret, but we've been teasing it, hyping it up, testing it, doing all the stuff. So Sweet Elite will come out in about 2.5 weeks. So we are getting ready for that. We're super excited. As far as new versions, I think that, this is something that Car Candy will always, have occasional rolling changes, new products added to the line, new versions. I think that it's easiest sometimes to not make a big deal about a new version. And just kind of let it be a rolling change. From a business perspective, that's the best way to do it. When you tend to announce new versions or something, then everyone thinks their version's bad, which it's not. It just means, we've made some tweaks and things to make things better. But so I think we'll always focus on, keeping everything, great. And, we might make small tweaks and things like that. There has not been any that I know of, other than I think end of last year, Destroyer got some new versions and new tweaks. And that included a color change. It went from red to clear. And then I don't remember what the scent was, but now it's strawberry lemonade or watermelon lemon or something like that. They both smell the same to me. And so now it's got a new scent and a clear color, and it looks absolutely beautiful in the bottle. And but it still works exactly awesome like it did before. So if you have an old version of Destroyer, doesn't mean it's that there's something different. No, just the smell and the scent, or the scent and the color changed. So you'll notice some rolling changes like that. And then obviously the new products, we will probably focus on the Sweet Elite line for this year. So definitely watch for that. But we are super excited about that line coming out. And we're actually going to talk about it more in just a little bit. Robert Rassman, hello. He says, that is a great idea. I think you ought to have Mike Rhines up as a leprechaun today.
have to dye his beard too. You got to dye.
Yeah. Yeah. That's funny. My husband always he has this one, like, those like old pins. He has
Yeah,
this pin that says world's tallest leprechaun. And he's like so dead set on wearing it every St. Patrick's Day. It's so
yeah.
funny.
Mike is like
Megan.
Mike is one of my favorite people ever.
Yeah, so funny. So Megan says it can be diluted with RO water. So I think she's referring to the eliminator. So that is great to know. Good to know. Kyle Clark. Hello, Kyle.
Oh,
Thanks for joining us. Josh, I used Hydro X today. It was very nice. Can you clay with it?
You absolutely can. It works really, really well with your clay sponge. It works great with the auto fiber clay sponge.
Yeah, and it would probably be safe to use with either the synthetic clay, or I'm sure it would be safe to use with traditional clay as well. I mean, it's got a lot of lubricity in it. So, really when I'm looking at like a clay spray, I'm looking at like body and lubricity, and it has plenty. So yeah, it would be great to clay with. I haven't tried the wash clay seal with it, but it seems like that, if you were planning on going back with, a more stout ceramic or something, I feel like it could be great in the wash clay seal process. I'm going to try that. All right. Jeff Converse says, can Hydro X go on convertible tops? I don't see why not, Jeff. Honestly, I mean, it is a polymer based, quick detailer. It's got a little bit of that SiO2 in it, which is not going to hurt the convertible top. If anything, it's going to help it with the UV protection. So I would absolutely say you're totally good to go. I mean, there's nothing in there that's going to clog the convertible top. And those polymers are actually going to help, pull out some of the dirt. So if it were me and I needed to dust off my convertible top, I would have no fear in using that at all. I think that would be great. Mike, back with distilled water for diluting chemical anyway. Yes, we always like to mention that. I mean, there's certain ones where if I'm diluting it just for that day and I'm using it all that day, like in my foam cannons, I use tap water because you're using it all that day. So if you're using it all that day, you can use tap water. But otherwise, when diluting chemicals for storage in bottles, you should always use distilled or deionized water. For sure. All right, Bob Rassman, I think, he already said, we had that one. I think you ought to have Mike right. So he really wants you to be a leprechaun, Mike. Really, really. Oh gosh, Alex Devlin. For him, it's just springtime t-shirt weather up there in Alaska. That is nuts. I would freeze. Alex, do people bring their snowmobiles in to get detailed? Like, that's just crazy to me. All right. So Ricardo says applying it by hand with a microfiber applicator, does that work? I think it would work. I just don't know that I would say that it's the ideal application. I don't know that it's leaving enough on the surface. I mean, that microfiber is really going to suck up most of it. It's probably going to make your applicators have a scent that sticks behind for the rest of their life. That I would try to maybe dilute it a little bit, like we said, with distilled water, see if that doesn't work. But what I really think is I think you want to spray that on the surface and really let it go to work. And I'm not sure with a microfiber applicator if you're really leaving enough behind to do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to skip over Kyle. It was the same question. I think we have, for some reason, it's repeating a couple questions. All right. Details Official. Thanks for checking in, guys. What's up, guys? We appreciate you being here. That's so exciting. Details Official. I did hear that there was a delivery of some sort from you guys for me in Boise today, and I'm really excited to go see it. Mike writes, high quality chemicals that are accessible and affordable. That's our motto. Oh gosh, you know what, Ricardo? I'm so glad that you asked this question because we skipped over my favorite part of the show. So we'll get into it right after, since he said his. So Ricardo, my favorite product is Impeccable Interior for quick detail maintenance. That is awesome. And that is also my favorite product of the week. So I've been playing around with Impeccable Interior a lot. I really like it. I have it. Brought it with, whoa, gosh, camera's backwards. So it is one of my favorite products. I will say though, is I do a lot of vehicles, a lot of like Teslas, EVs. They have like that weird vegan leather. And then I have a lot of Lexuses with the real flat leather. Mm-hmm. And so what I've found that I really love with Impeccable Interior is I dilute it about 10%. So I'm putting 3 to 4 ounces in my 32 ounce bottle of DI water, and I love it. love it, because I love how it like really makes the plastic rich and deep, and it leaves a really great finish, but it leaves no shine at all, which on some vehicles I like, especially Teslas and stuff. Because if you have something that even has a little bit of shine, it ends up looking streaky. That type of leather just does not absorb, dressings like normal leather. And so I've really been loving impeccable interior for that. Yesterday, I did a Lexus GX 460 that had really smooth leather. And but it wasn't overly dry, so I couldn't use like a regular dressing. It just wasn't going to take it right. And so what I did was I cleaned the whole car, steamer, interior cleaner, the whole thing. And I actually used impeccable interior as my dressing because I wanted it to look like it was just perfectly clean. But I did want to leave behind protection, but I didn't want it to look like it. And it was perfect. Like I absolutely loved the finish that I got out of impeccable interior. So amen on that, Ricardo. I'm glad you brought that up. How about you, Josh? What's your favorite product?
So I'm going to go with Candy Coat Premier.
Okay.
We did a 64 Impala that went to the World of Wheels Nationals in Omaha last weekend. And after we, paint corrected it and put Premier on it, and it won best paint. So
nice. Very cool. All right, Jeff, best glass coating you've ever used. So this is a little bit of an unfair question because I haven't used the Candy Coat glass finish yet. I know Josh really likes it. I go between several, though. I think there's a lot of good ones on the market. I go between Armor and CCI. I think they're both great, but I have not used the Candy Coat yet. Actually, Josh just brought me some the other day, so I will be able to try it, but yeah, and glass coatings are pretty easy to not pick apart. I will say I don't like the spray-on ones.
Yeah. I'm not a huge glass coating fan anyway.
Yeah,
but Candy Coat is really good. The glass coating, it really is.
I'm excited to try it. Really excited to try it. And for me, where I live, it's kind of desert-y-ish. We have a lot of granite in the air and stuff up here in the foothills. So for me, with glass coatings, which I notice on most of them, is they do provide a little bit of defense against sand pitting. Like up here, we have a ton of sand pitting, and that could go back to the street division too, because they're constantly caring for the streets. So we have sand and gravel on our streets all the time. And I do notice with cars that have a coating of some type on them, a true coating, not a glass treatment, that it really does defend against all of the little rock chips. So, okay. So Mike Rhines says, replying to Ricardo, try it with a Scrub Ninja on a moderately dirty interior.
Yeah.
Was it
impeccable?
Oh, impeccable. I was like, wait, are we talking about, I thought we were still on the iron remover with Ricardo, and that scared me. No, you're right, Mike. Yes. Yes, on a Scrub Ninja, it works great. Even with brushes, I really, really love impeccable interior. It's really great. All right. Dark Dragon 525. Hi, guys. I just got here. Maybe I missed it, but are the new products from SEMA coming soonish? So I'm assuming, at SEMA, we had the Hydra Candy.
Yep.
And that is out, and it's the pressure washing line. It's good to go. If you are thinking about the new products from MTE, which is Sweet Elite, they are coming sooner than later at this point. They will be here in about 2.5 weeks. So, do you want to talk about Sweet Elite right now?
We can.
Should we just dive in?
Do we want to spill the date?
Yeah, I think we can. Yeah. So we have an official date.
It's pretty exciting. It will be April 10th.
Yes, April 10th. It will go live everywhere. Distributors who have it, our website. We're hoping to get it on Amazon by April 10th. That's really, my all of my hopes and dreams are to have it on Amazon by then. But yes, it is coming. And in case you guys don't know what we're talking about, we've got Sweet Elite. I have a couple. Oh my goodness, how come I don't know how to work this camera? So really cool labels. So retail ready. So we have the ceramic detailer, the wheel and tire cleaner, which you're going to hear me say this like a million times. I cannot wait for that product. It is so good. So good. I didn't know a wheel and tire cleaner could be that good. Interior. Good. Yeah. Interior cleaner. Super excited about this. And then probably my favorite. What? is rinseless wash. So this is an absolutely awesome rinseless wash. It is going to be a hybrid rinseless. So it's going to be surfactant and polymer based. They're going to work together to do extra cleaning power, but rinse clean, wipe clean, dries, streak free. And it smells like rainforest hibiscus, which the whole line smells absolutely amazing. The wheel and tire cleaner is champagne. I am literally dying for these to get into people's hands, literally dying. And I can't wait to get some for myself. I have these ones, but these were first editions. And so they become kind of coveted where you don't want to use them.
Yeah. Yep.
And so I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So I believe most of the materials are in. I think if I remember right, it's slated to maybe start manufacturing next week.
Yep.
So yes, it is coming, and we are all literally cannot wait. Cannot wait.
So if there's any distributors listening, get your pre-orders in now.
Yes. We did do something that Car Candy doesn't normally do, and we opened up the line for pre-order. So we did do that to give the distributors a chance to, get it in store, have it available, so that on launch day, their customers can actually get their hands on it and not have to wait. So if any of our distributors are out there listening, definitely get your pre-orders in. Mike Ryan's replying to Jeff on what's your favorite glass coating is Candy Coat glass. I cannot wait to try it. And then he also comes in and says Detailing World in Pittsburgh. So check and see if they have what you need over there. That I thought I was dreaming that there was one there, but I wasn't sure. All right, Dark Dragon, Illinois here too. That's awesome. Lots from Illinois today. Loving the rinseless life until spring. Yeah, I rinseless wash life all year round. All year round. Joey Belinsky, I'm very excited to give Sweet Elite a try. I am so excited for everybody to get to give it a try. We are super, super excited about it. It's so much fun to use. It smells so amazing. The whole experience is just awesome. The bottles turned out amazing. I'm just really, really excited. Jeff replying, I just applied to all the glass on my work truck will test longevity. Please do, and check back and let us know.
And so that's mainly why I've never liked glass coatings, is because they say 2 years and 6 months it's gone.
I never tell anybody 6 months to a year. I mean, that's about as long as it's going to be. Literally.
I've had it on one of my vehicles that I drive pretty hard, and I don't take care of, and it sits outside. I think I put it on in November, and it's still holding strong.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I usually see about a year out of it. Okay, this is a great question. And now I have a challenge for you guys. So Dark Dragon says, will the Sweet Elite line be available at brick and mortar shops like, say, Car Supplies Warehouse? So yes, we hope so. So like I said, last Friday, we opened it up to all of our distributors to pre-order. Now, we kind of made a call out to our distributors. They all know, but if you have your favorite store that you often go in and purchase product from, go in and ask them if they got their pre-order in.
Yeah.
Poke them a little bit so that they know that people want it. So, I'm sure that Car Supplies Warehouse will absolutely bring it in. But, never hurts to contact them and say, are you going to have it on launch day? But yes, Car Supplies Warehouse does carry Car Candy, and they do a great job. So hopefully they are on the list of getting the pre-order in. So I think the pre-orders, like I said, opened last Friday, and we believe we will start shipping those April 1st so that everybody has them by the 10th.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So, and obviously the sooner they get their order in, the higher in the tier of when it ships out they get. So definitely don't want to wait till the last minute. All right. So Mike replying to Jeff again about the glass coating, 3 years in Florida by the detail specialist. Okay, so Carlin Williamson, this is a great question. What type of fabric guard do you have? Is it water resistant or dye resistant?
It's going to be water resistant. It may have a little bit of dye resistance, but I don't think it's going to be, anything too crazy.
Yeah, and this kind of goes in with the coatings for the glass too. Here's the deal with any fabric guard. it is great stuff. But what I will say it is not probably going to last from when the detailer or you put it on your own car till the next time that car comes in. They have a pretty short life. I know that a lot of people will try to say, oh, it's like a year or whatever, but it's really, you know, those
It's
wear
stuff
down with abrasion. Yeah,
it's
they
from the
wear
air
down with
car.
abrasion and cleaning and where does the car live? Who's sitting in it? Is it kids? Are they climbing on it with shoes? Like there's so many variables on how long that fabric guard's going to last that when it's first put on, it's probably going to do a great job with dye resistance. However, over time, it's going to become less resistant. So that's the one thing to keep in mind. Now, I do know the fabric guard is very good, but what you want to keep in mind is I would never quote a time for how long that's going to last.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't, because there's too many variables. There's too many variables on soft surfaces. Bucky Doer, Alex yelling, "Is that Kyle Clark?" He's a big fan of Kyle Clark, and so every time he hears his name, he yells, "Kyle Clark!" All right, Dylan Yoakum, hello with a Sweet Elite line. Roughly how many bottles are in this line?
Right now we have 4. I think our target maybe by the end of the year is 12, 10 to 12,
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
Yeah. We want it to be a really well-rounded kind of everything you would need to, clean a car, keep it maintained, but we don't want to oversaturate the line. We don't want any duplicates. We don't want it to be overdone. We want it to be a simple, easy to use, super effective, super great experience. And so, when we kind of went through the list of all the areas we needed to hit, we kind of ended up at 12. That's not to say that someday it wouldn't expand to 14 or something, but it's we're going to try to keep it really, really reasonable. So yeah, right now we are starting with 4. All right, Bucky, Alex Dewar says, at the snowmobile comment, we're pretty mild snow-wise right now, so not a ton of sleds here. East Coast has way more, could be a booming business. Alex has had snow this week. I feel bad. But you know what, Alex, we're going to hope for really sunny weather. All right, Adrian from I Am Detailed AF. Hey fam, I love Impeccable as well. Yes, Adrian and I were chatting. Oh, look at this. A genius told me to dilute it 10%. I was just about to say, Adrian and I have been talking about Impeccable Interior. Huge fan. All right, Dark Dragon. Ah, yes, MTE is what I meant. Thanks. Yep, we yes, Sweet Elite, about 10 days, and we are so excited.
It depends where you're at in Illinois. I'm like 3 hours from Chicago. You could always come visit me.
Sweet. Yes, and look at Josh has. Yes, Josh will have it. Josh probably already had his. I'm guessing you already had your pre-order in, right?
Yeah. Yep, I sent it in today.
You were probably the first one. Oh gosh. Mike replying to Dylan, 4 to start. I forget what questions they asked. Okay, so my details supply. We need to make an order. Is Sweet Elite all RTU? Excellent question, Clint. Yes, it is. Now, does that mean that you can't dilute it? It does not mean you can't not dilute it. It is all RTU. Obviously, the rinseless wash has to be diluted, right? The interior cleaner is RTU, but you can absolutely dilute it 1-to-1 if you feel like, because we did make these strong scented, but the cleaning power is so good that on the interior cleaner, you can absolutely dilute it 1-to-1 if you'd like, to tone it down a little bit. The ceramic detailer, I probably wouldn't dilute. And the wheel and tire cleaner, I bet you could dilute it 50-50, but man, it's so fun to use the way it is that, I'm just like a spray and go. Now, I do think that the wheel and tire cleaner will work great in an IK sprayer diluted 4-to-1 or something like that. But otherwise, I would probably use it straight. We have a couple other products coming down the line that will be, they can be diluted. So definitely what's great is you can play with it and see what you like, right? There's none that we would say, don't dilute it, but you don't have to. We tried, we're trying to make everything shelf ready, retail ready, excellent experience for detailers, but then also just really easy to understand and safe to use for enthusiasts and DIY. So we really just wanted an all around that everybody could use. So, all right, Frank, thank you. All right. Mark Lunasco. Aloha, what is your guys' neutralizer if you use a wheel acid? This is a good question.
Yeah. So I would go with like a high pH degreaser or chocolate
Mhm.
thunder or
Yeah.
even, destroyer. If you're going to foam your vehicle,
Hmm.
foam the wheels with destroyer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would do too. I always like to follow up with for some reason I just always kind of grabbed a wheel and tire cleaner
Yep.
as my neutralizer. So we haven't talked about it, and I know in the past episodes we've talked a lot about Chocolate Thunder, but we talked about it a little bit last time that you can put Chocolate Thunder straight in a foam cannon, which huge fan am I, huge. So I got a foam cannon, and then I got a lid. So now I have a foam cannon that will just live as my Chocolate Thunder foam cannon. So I have a bunch of other foam cannons that are going to be my soap and all of that. But I wanted one that I could literally store an entire bottle of Chocolate Thunder in. And so yesterday I used it, and I used it on the bugs. I did all of the running boards on the Lexus, and then obviously the wheels, fender wells, all of that, which is just great. So if I was using wheel acid, this is exactly what I would do: is I would go back and probably foam on my Chocolate Thunder just to neutralize the wheel acid and or water spot remover, because here I get a lot of water spots on the sides of cars, and I can totally see myself. I'll do the water spot remover and I'll probably just foam over it with Chocolate Thunder to neutralize it. So yeah, there's lots of options there. So very cool. All right, Adrian with I Am Detailed AF back with quick call out. Ceramic shield has a great shine to a vehicle. I was impressed.
Yes.
Yes, I really enjoy using ceramic shield. It is really, really easy to wipe in. I
Yeah.
think graphene carbon coat, I used that yesterday because I wanted something a little bit more stout as my leave behind. And that's great, but that's more of one, like, you have to really be intentional on your wipe off on that. Ceramic shield is so easy to use, and it just has a really nice finish. And Adrian actually did a video that I thought was so great. And I was a little bit worried when he started talking. He said, I'm going to try this on glass. I'm in the hot sunshine. He's in San Diego. And I was like,
yep. I was the same way. I'm like, oh no.
I was so nervous, and it wiped off perfect and looked great. So yeah, it was so funny. But yeah, so that was awesome. I really love ceramic shield. And I think, Adrian, when you get the Sweet Elite line, this ceramic detailer, you are going to extra love, because it is basically a lot like ceramic shield, but a lot of extra really great stuff included. So that one's going to be super fun to use. All right, Mike. I have 5 foam cannons for 5 different products. That's hilarious. So this has been the first one for me that I have decided to have a dedicated foam cannon, because most of my soaps, because I don't do foam washes enough, I don't leave the soap in the foam cannon, because right, once it's already kind of been diluted, it starts to break down. So I don't store my soap in foam cannons, but I do love that you have them for different products. I have 2 that I switch back and forth. But the Chocolate Thunder, you don't dilute at all. So I wanted a foam cannon that I could literally dedicate to Chocolate Thunder straight, because then when it comes through the pressure washer, you're looking at about a 15-to-1 dilution.
Yep.
And then I can take the hose out so that it doesn't, do whatever Chocolate Thunder could do to it. So then I've got one with a cap. So I'm super excited about that. So I love that. I do love foam cannons. I actually have 4 now, but one of them is not out. But yeah, that's great. Love it. All right, Adrian. Here locally, they use Chocolate Thunder and acid two-step to two-step no touch. With proper dilution, it is safe. Cautious on wheel type and finish. Yeah. So I think he's saying, like, you would acid wash it and then follow up with Chocolate Thunder, and they're using that to do a no touch. That's awesome. I personally don't like to use acid, but I know that there's a lot of, production shops and stuff that they're like, look, we have to. It's efficiency's sake. And so that's awesome. Love it. Love it. Love it. Josh, did you do your favorite product of the week?
No,
What is it? I know, I was just thinking about that. Like, we got off on impeccable interior, and I don't think we ever got your favorite product of the week. Did you?
It was Candy Coat Premier.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Well, okay. Do you want to tell us why you like it so much?
It's really easy to apply, and it's a 9-year coating, so it's a stout
Oh,
coat.
wow. Okay.
But it's just super easy to apply and wipe off, and it looks really, really good. There's a gloss to the paint that is kind of second to none. It looks really good.
Nice. I like I said, I got the coatings all this weekend, so I'm super excited to kind of dive in them. and check them out. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have you give me the lowdown on when to wipe it off. Mike Rhines, I love the 2-step wheel. I go to Chocolate Thunder and then acid. Oh, so you do it Chocolate Thunder and then acid. Do you go back over or no? You just do it like that? That's, I also don't know if I could ever no touch my wheels. I think there's a lot of wheels I work on that I could no touch, but my wheels are gnarly. Mike, since you're here, what's your favorite product? I want to know that. Mike gets to play with all this stuff all the time. So what is your favorite product? So real quick, we're coming to an end. So let's talk about what's coming. So what's all coming? What trainings do you have coming up?
So I'm pretty quiet until mid-April. We've got a training here in Iowa. It'll be April 18th. So if you're in Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, get signed up on carcandy.com under the training tab. We'll be going through the whole lineup of Car Candy products. Sweet Elite will be out, so we'll be going through the Sweet Elite line. And then we will be doing a coating certification that day as well.
Nice.
Be a full day. Come party with us.
Nice. Yes. And then we have a RUPES training in May at the BFA, the Bigfoot Academy. So that is still open for registration. That should be pretty exciting. That will be a 2-day class?
2-day. Yep. We're going to do
2 days.
Sanding, paint correction, and then a coating certification. And if you have not been to the BFA, you should go. I mean, that's a pretty cool facility.
It is so cool. Yes, it's so cool. So cool. And then we've already covered that Mike is going to be in Texas in April. He is going to be in Florida in April. I'm going to be here. And then hopefully we have a couple more things, out on the horizon that we're talking about that hopefully we'll be able to announce some other classes and stuff like that. But we've got, lots of requests in, and we're just, trying to get out there and see everybody this year. And, hopefully just get Sweet Elite out there on a great little tour. So back to, does Mike neutralize? Yes, with Destroyer. And then I asked, what is his favorite product? And it's Destroyer. I have used that a couple times now, and I really, really like it. Really, really like it. Yeah,
it's a great soap.
Yeah, it really is. And when I do foam, I'm a fan of putting on like a decon soap, letting it dwell for a few minutes. Then I rinse it off. Then I foam with some fun, foamy product that smells good, and then do my contact wash. So I am loving Destroyer to kind of get off that first layer of dirt. So I love that. All right. So Dylan Yoakum says, will the Elite line be on Amazon by the day of release?
We're trying.
I hope so. We hope so. I hope so. We are really trying. All right. My detail supply, Clint says, Josh, put me down for a case of each of Sweet Elite, please.
You know it, buddy. How about 3 cases each, maybe 4?
I was going to say, Clint, 1 case, you're going to blow through that in no time. So I will say to anybody out there listening, distributors, whatever. So this first release will be kind of an initial run. So, we could see, if it gets real crazy, we could see a 5-day delay in, making a new batch. So, I would get what you think you want to last you for a couple weeks, because this first run will be a little bit different. All right, Dylan, where are you located?
Iowa City, Iowa.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, yeah. I think Dylan's the one from
He probably is asking about. Oh, yes. And he was, yep. Very cool.
But Car Candy.
And you know what?
Florida.
Yes. And Dylan, the weather in Iowa will be nicer by then.
Yeah,
I'm sure of it. All right. Tony says, I'll drive out, Josh. I just want to learn from the master. Tony, maybe you should fly.
I'll buy you a plane ticket. After my debacle, I'm buying you a plane
right.
ticket.
Yeah, totally. I don't know that we're all as patient as Josh was. I would have died.
I'm very patient, and I was running out of patience.
Yeah, I would die. Okay, Dark Dragon will do. Reach out to CSW. Yes, please do. Mike Rhines, it took 6 months to convince them of the name change. So he's talking about Destroyer. So fun fact, Destroyer used to be called Truck Wash, because it is just a good, almost degreasing wash. You would think of trucks being dirty, but cars are just as dirty. So it took some convincing, it sounds like. I love the name. I think it's great. And the new packaging, like the new bottle, looks absolutely amazing. I love the color being clear. I think that was like such a hit. That was a good one. That was a good one. All right. My detail supply says, call me when you're done, Josh. We'll figure it out.
Absolutely. So before we, close it down for the day, I had
yeah.
car candy
I
hats.
love that. I love that. That's so good.
I think I made 20 of them, and we're going to give them away over the next, 20 episodes of Unwrapped. So
nice. So we'll have we'll have some fun stuff. So like today, we did a product focus of the day. So we'll do kind of comment of the day that, has to do with our product focus and stuff. And then we'll do some generators to figure out who wins. But those are great hats. Those are really, really fun. Super fun. So, oh, look, we have Lando here. Hi, Lando. Just stopped in to say aloha from Team UnWrapped. Thanks for checking in. Again, kills the social media. Absolutely love Lando and IREP and everybody, IREP Las Vegas. They do such a great job. So super, super cool. I know that our team was so happy to be able to come over there and meet up with all of you guys. So that was super, super cool. Now let's talk about other things coming up. So we normally we do these every 2 weeks. This next run is going to be on week 3, mainly because 2 weeks from now, TRCMA is running the whole week. So I will be out for that whole week. So we will be back. We also wanted to time it with the release of Sweet Elite. So we will be back. Josh and I will be back here on Unwrapped on Tuesday, April 7th, which is 3 days before the Sweet Elite release. So we will have all the tea on the release, how it's going, where it's at, who's got it, all of that good stuff. We are hoping to get out. I know we haven't talked about it today, but we have our CAMS crew, which is all of the folks who got the cam figurines, and they're called CAMS crew. They're kind of our behind the scenes, doing content for us and things like that, giving us feedback on products and all of that. So CAMS crew will also get their products prior to release. And so, a lot of them have been here with us today, and we super appreciate that. So we're going to be making an all-out push for Sweet Elite that week. We will, even though it won't actually release till Friday the 10th, we will be talking about it until y'all get sick of it. So definitely distributors, get your orders in. Detailers, everybody who wants it, call your local distributor, or just pray for me that we can get it on Amazon, because I know that it's going to do really, really well on Amazon. So we are really trying. Hi, Kyle. Thanks for joining us. Kyle Camus is here. And then Chris Kemp says, I blame the snow in Iowa on someone saying no more snow. Yes.
I'm sorry.
That darn, I know. There was also that darn, what was his name? Puxatawny Phil. It was his fault.
Yeah. Yep.
It was his fault. So that is what is coming up. The next couple weeks are going to fly by, but make sure you always pay attention to our social media. We, definitely try to communicate with you guys through, posts and stories on what's coming up, where everybody is, and like I said, we're all out on the Sweet Elite thing. We're really, really excited. So we can't wait for you guys to get it and start telling us what you think. And that's all I've got for today. We are right on the money today. Excellent.
We are efficient.
Yes. Well, you guys, thank you everybody who joined us today. This was a fun episode. We really appreciate all of you guys in the comments and being here to just help Car Candy have this exciting year, and we're growing and expanding, and it's going to be awesome. We're here for the ride. So Josh, we are very glad you made it home.
Me too. I'll tell you, I slept so hard last night. I literally laid down and I didn't move all night long.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That is crazy. Well, we're glad you made it home. I loved having you here in Boise. And even if we just did get the one hilarious video, that was worth it. So, all right, you guys. Well, we will be back in 3 weeks. Make sure you pay attention to our social media. Also, Cam's Corner on Facebook. We share all the good stuff there too. And until April 7th, you guys have a great spring.
See you guys.